Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. Let's do Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari. Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Giravardhari. Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Giravardhari. Shodanandana Vraj Janaranjana, Shodanandana Vraj Janaranjana, Yamuna Tirvanachari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyan Anjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Sam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajim Sadvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Turgrihascha Kirpa Sindhubevacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Nama Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyatirim Yat Kirpatam Vandeshi Gurun Tintaranam Paramananda Madham Shitaneshwar Hariyam Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jemaduri Nashtaprashi Nashtaprashi Ivdureshu Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Udam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki. Okay, Hare Krishna. So last time we were saying that association of pure devotees is more purifying than the Ganga Mata herself. So we take bath in Ganga to purify our sins, but association of devotees is even greater than that. And we're also talking about different types of devotees, Krishnadhikaris, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari, and Srila Prabhupada said that we should rise at least to the Madhyam platform and not remain on the Knishta So you wasted
You are
time.
suffering from a life-threatening.
So don't waste your time on the Krishna Adhikari position. And Srila Prabhupada also explains that just having knowledge of liberation is just material, unless you do something with it. So freedom from material bondage is liberation, and pure devotion service is beyond liberation. So we ask for pure devotion service. That's when we're chanting, we're asking for devotion service. We're not asking for liberation. Hare Krishna, please liberate me. We're saying, please give us your service, because that's higher than liberation. That's what we want. It doesn't matter where we are, we should be doing devotional service. And Prahlad Maharaj gave us enough bhakti, 9 types of devotional service to choose from. And we can do that. So much, so much variety in Krishna's service. Okay, let's continue. So verse 19. Kutha puna granato nam tasya mahatmai kanta paraya nasya yonanta shakti bhagwan ananto mahed gun atpadyam anantam ahu. So kutaha, what to say? Puna, again. Grinitha, one who chants Nam, holy name. Tasya, his. Mahettam, great devotees. Ekant, exclusive. Prayanasya, of one who takes shelter of. Yaha, he who. Ananta is the unlimited. Shaktihi, potency. Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead. Anantaha, immeasurable. Mahet, great. Gun atpat, on account of such attributes. Yam, whom. Anantam, by the name Ananta. Ahu is called. So, and what to speak of those who are under the direction of the great devotees, chanting the holy name of the unlimited, who has unlimited potency, the personality of Godhead, unlimited in potency and transcendental by attributes, is called Ananta, unlimited. So the Dvij Bandhu, or the less intelligent, uncultured men born of higher castes, put forward many arguments against the lower caste men becoming Brahmanas in this life. So there was a bit of struggle with that. Srila Prabhupada struggled with his crowd brothers. They argue that birth in a family of Shudras or less than Shudras is made possible by one's previous sinful acts, and that one therefore has to complete the terms of disadvantages due to lower birth. So, and to answer these false logicians, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam asserts that one who chants the holy name of the Lord under the direction of a pure devotee can at once get freed from the disadvantages due to a lower caste birth. This is amazing. So, one who chants the holy name of the Lord is so powerful that any disadvantages, any lacking that was there is already, automatically taken care of by the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord does not commit any offense while chanting the holy name of the Lord. There are 10 different offenses in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So there is a catch or criteria that should be offenseless chanting, or that's what we'll be striving for. Those 10, avoid those 10 offenses that we are given. To chant the holy name under the direction of a pure devotee is offenseless chanting. Offenseless chanting of the holy name of the Lord is transcendental, and therefore such chanting can at once purify one from the effects of all kinds of previous sins. This offenseless chanting indicates that one has fully understood the transcendental nature of the holy name and has surrendered unto the Lord. Transcendentally, the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. being absolute. The holy name of the Lord is as powerful as the Lord. The Lord is the all-powerful personality of Godhead, and He has innumerable names, which are all not different from Him and are equally powerful also. In the last word of the Bhagavad-Gita, the Lord says that one who surrenders fully unto Him is protected from all sins by the grace of the Lord. He says, surrender unto me and I will, all your paps will be taken care of. Since His name and He Himself are identical, the holy name of the Lord can protect the devotee from all effects of sins. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord can undoubtedly deliver one from the disadvantages of lower caste birth. The Lord's unlimited power is extended on and on by the unlimited expansion of the devotees and incarnations. And thus, every devotee of the Lord and incarnations also can be equally surcharged with the potency of the Lord. Since the devotee is surcharged with the potency of the Lord, even fractionally, the disqualification due to low birth cannot stand in the way. So that takes care of that. So disqualification of birth does not stop someone from learning the science of Krishna consciousness. It's open to everyone, even the asuras. This Prahlad Maharaj, he was born into a demoniac family, and Narad Muni came especially to preach to his mother, and Prahlad Maharaj heard while he was in the womb, said there's no limit to how young you have to be to listen to spiritual knowledge or to gain spiritual knowledge. You don't get much younger than that. You're still in the womb. You haven't even taken birth, and you can take that knowledge. You can understand that knowledge, right? This spiritual knowledge has no bounds. There's no obstacles. The only obstacle is ourselves, our offenses, our anarthas. That's the only offense. There's no other offenses. It's accessible to anyone and everyone. So by reading, you become purified. By sharing, preaching, you become purified. So where is the problem? So there is some disqualification in terms of low birth. That is negative karma, negative energy related to that. But if you want to take advantage of the holy name of Krishna under the guidance of a pure devotee, then whatever disqualification is there due to low birth will be purified. That's the thing. So any negativity is devotion service, which includes chanting, is all auspicious. So anything that is lacking, any disqualification is taken care of. Those who were chanting offenselessly were feeling great ecstasy. So, as we're saying, we have anarthas to take care of. If you're not getting a taste, we have anarthas to take care of. More purification. And we have to check that are we committing any of these 10 offenses as well. The 10 offenses are there, and we can check. And I think one of the offenses we all do or we struggle with is chanting inattentively, and myself included. Very difficult to just sit there for 2 hours and chant inattentively, or attentively rather. It's, we become inattentive just after a few seconds, after a few minutes. It's very, very difficult. But that's what we work towards, bringing the mind back to the chanting. So you got the 10 offenses, and then we got to make sure that you chant attentively as well, and that takes care of everything. Go back home, go back to Godhead. In 20. Etavatalam nanu suchitena gune asamyanatisya yanasya hitvetaran prathayato vibhutir yasya angrirenom jushte na bishpuso. So at etavata sofa alam, unnecessary nanu, if at all, suchitena by description, gunahi by attributes, asamya immeasurable, anati nasya of one who is unexcelled, hitva leaving aside, itran others, parathayatha of those who ask for, vibhutihi favor of the goddess of fortune, yasya one whose angry feet, renum dust, jushate serves, anabi pasaho of one who is unwilling. So it is now ascertained that he, the person of Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to him. Consequently, no one can speak of him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the gods of fortune even by praise, but this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although he is unwilling to have such service. So the personality Godhead, or the Parameshwar Par Brahman, according to the Shrutis, has nothing to do. He has no equal, nor does anyone excel him. He has unlimited potencies, and his every action is carried out systematically in his natural and perfect ways. Thus, the Supreme Personality Godhead is full in himself, and he has nothing to accept from anyone else, including the great demigods like Brahma. Others ask for the favor of goddess of fortune, and despite such praise, she declines to award such favors, but still she renders service unto Supreme Personality Godhead, although he has nothing to accept from her. The Personality Godhead in his Garbhodakshay Vishnu feature begets Brahma, the first created person in the material world, from his navel lotus stem, and not in the womb of goddess of fortune, who is eternally engaged in his service. These are some of the instances of his complete independence and perfection. Study that again. The personal Godhead in his Garbhodakshay Vishnu feature begets Brahma, the first created person in the material world, from his navel lotus stem, and not in the womb of gods of fortune, who is eternally engaged in his service. These are some of the instances of his complete independence and perfection. He doesn't need anyone else. That he has nothing to do does not mean that he is impersonal. He is transcendently so full of inconceivable potencies that simply by his willing, everything is done without physical or personal endeavor. He is called, therefore, Yoga Ishvara, or the Lord of all mystic powers. And his inconceivable, class we were doing yesterday, the super soul is in every atom, every cell, is everywhere, is pervading, all pervading. So he can do anything, anywhere. He knows everything, everywhere. Nothing in any universe, material world, spiritual world, nothing is hidden from him. Everything is everything. And he's everywhere in his Brahman energy, his effulgence is there. So, how amazing is God? This, and he's a person. That's the most amazing thing. He is a person with all these powers and qualities, and sometimes this is the problem. Sometimes we get envious of the Lord. Most of our houses. One time we got these canvases with where Krishna is taking prasad. He's taking bhoga. With the Radharani and all the Ashtakis are serving them, and we all got that canvas in our houses. You go to any devotee's house, everyone has that one. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, how quickly we jumped to get that canvas. I drove for miles and picked it up, had it made and all that, and I was just thinking, why were we so attracted to it? Was it because Krishna, we're seeing Krishna enjoying and we were pleased? No, actually it was because we would like that position as well, like he's enjoying, we want to enjoy. And this is our problem, we want to enjoy. But do we have these powers? Do we have these abilities? Are we all pervading? We can only be one place at one time. This is our nature, that we envy Krishna, we want to be like him. Subconsciously we envy him. We don't realize we don't want to envy him, but subconsciously we envy him. There's like, if you was say you were his sakha in the spiritual world, and when the kachoris came, for Krishna, we all the sakhas sitting together, and the kachoris come, and you think cheekingly you will take a kachori before Krishna does. That is actually offense, and just for doing that, the Yog Maya, she will send you into the material world, for some rehab. Because why did the thought come to your head that you will take Krishna's kachori before offering to him? It's like that. Krishna might not mind, but there's powers. His powers will be disturbed by that. They will be offended that you actually did that. You try to take it before Krishna. Okay, you need to go and sort yourself out. Something gone drastically wrong in your system. So like that. So we, naturally we tend to be, we want to be God basically. We want to take his place, but we can't. We are just minute jivas. Okay. Let's continue. So 20, we can add, Krishna can do everything and anything. Even though he has nothing to do, he can do anything. Because he had unlimited, inconceivable, unlimited potencies, which we don't have. Therefore, we can't understand him because it's all inconceivable. Our tiny brains cannot understand so much. Limited brains cannot understand the unlimited. Simple as that. It doesn't match. We need to solidify our conviction. As long as there are doubts, Lord will wait for us to become totally convinced. According to his desire as a master, then he will do what he needs to do according to his timeline. Okay, 21. Athapi yadpad nakhavashrishtam jagad virino cha pahara tarahana baha sesham punati anyatmo mukundat ko nam loke bhagavad padarataha. It's amazing how they join up all the words to make one word. Atha, therefore, api, certainly, yet, whose pad nak, nails of the feet, avishishtam, emanating, jagat, the whole universe, virinicha, Brahmaji, upaharat, collected, arhan, worship, ambaha, water, sal, along with him, along with Isham, Lord Shiva. So there's different names for Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. Punati, purifies. Aniyat Atmaha, who else? Mukandat, besides the personality Godhead, Shri Krishna. So Kaha, who? Nam, name, Loke, within the world, Bhagavat, Supreme Lord, Pad, position, Artaha, worth. So who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, which is Ganga, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. So the conception of many gods in the Vedic literatures by the ignorant is completely wrong. The Lord is one without a second, but he expands himself in many ways, and this is confirmed in the Vedas. Such expansions of the Lord are limitless, but some of them are the living entities. The living entities are not as powerful as the Lord's plenary expansions, and therefore there are two different types of expansions. Lord Brahma is generally one of the living entities, and Lord Shiva is the medium between the Lord and the living entities. In other words, even demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are the chief amongst all demigods, are never equal to or greater than Lord Vishnu. The Supreme Personality Godhead, the complete Lord, in other words. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, and all-powerful demigods like Brahma and Shiva are engaged in the worship of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Therefore, who can be more powerful than Mukunda, the Lord Krishna? And he says Mukunda here because he's the one who can, only he can give liberation. To be factually called the Supreme Personality, Godhead. The gods of fortune, Lakshmi Ji, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva are not independently powerful. They are powerful as expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, and so also are the living entities. There are 4 sects of worshipful devotees of the Lord, that's the Sampradayas, and the chief amongst them are the Brahma Sampradaya, the one we belong to. Well, we belong to Brahma, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, descending directly from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and gods of fortune. Lakshmi, respectively, and Lakshmi, respectively. Besides the above mentioned 3 Sampradayas, there is the Kumara, the 4 Kumaras, the Kumar Sampradaya, descending from Sanat Kumar. All of the 4 original Sampradayas are still scrupulously engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord up to date, and they all declare that Lord Krishna, Mukunda, is the Supreme Personality Godhead, and no other personality is equal to him or greater than him. So there's different schools. So you got the Brahma, Rudra, and Shri, and then you got the Kumar Sampradaya, and they're all teaching the same thing, right? So the 18 main Puranas in the 3 modes, ignorance, 6 are in ignorance, 6 are in passion, 6 are in goodness. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Mahapuran, is in pure goodness. Conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is Krishna's to Bhagavad-Sevayā. So Krishna, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So all the Vedas and Puranas, they look in the 3 modes of nature, or they're divided into 3 modes of nature, whereas conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is only the Krishna's to Bhagavad-Sevayā. Right. So, we're glorifying Lord Krishna today in these readings, and we're comparing him, and we're telling about his greatness, and it's so amazing. Excuse me. Okay, we just last one. Yatra nurkatha saheseva dhira vyapaho dayadishu sangam udaham vrajanati tat param hamsayam antyam yasmi nahimso pashyamaha savadharma. Excuse me. Yatra, unto him, anuraktaha, firmly attached, sahasa, all of a sudden, eva, certainly, dhira, self-control, vyapohaya, leaving aside deha, the gross body and subtle mind, adishu, relating to, sangam, attachment, udaham, taken to, varjanti, go away, that param, hamsayam, the highest stage of perfection, antyam, and beyond that, yasmin, in which ahimsa, non-violence, upashama, and renunciation, swadharma, consequential occupation. So self-controlled persons who are attached to the Supreme Lord Krishna can all of a sudden give up the world of material attachments, including the gross body and subtle mind, and go away to attain the highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which non-violence and renunciation are consequential. So, material attachments, we also attach to our body and our material mind. We listen to the mind. So these are all material. Only the self-controlled can gradually be attached to the Supreme Personality Godhead. Self-controlled means not indulging in sense enjoyment more than in necessary. And those who are not self-controlled are given over to sense enjoyment. So self-control means not indulging in sense enjoyment more than is necessary. So yesterday, some actually exalted devotees we have, they're saying, one thing I cannot avoid is watching a little bit of TV. That's fine, we're grastas, sometimes we have to share some quality time with our family, we sit together, watch something, as long as you're not spending too much time on these things. We cannot be like sannyasi. Sannyasi will tell you to throw your TV out to your upstairs window and just smash it. We cannot be that hard. We are grastas. We need to live together in a family and just have a little bit of fun together. He says not indulging in sense enjoyment more than is necessary. That's the thing. We should be overindulging in these things. I remember when we were young, there were like cinemas here in UK. They used to do free films. There's no other, like there's one cinema and there's no other cinemas around those times. And I'm going back into the 1970s. And then we would go there and we used to watch back-to-back 2 movies, like 6-7 hours we spent on a Sunday just watching. Family and friends all get together, lots of us, eating and drinking there, samosas, coke. This back in the 70s, and everybody, it's like a day out to the cinema. I mean, that is over indulging, spending all your day at the cinemas, all these, these big Bollywood movies like that. So he's saying little bit enjoyment is fine, it's okay, but don't overindulge in these things. What a waste of time that is as well, right? And those who are not self-controlled are given over to sense enjoyment. Dry philosophical speculation is a subtle sense enjoyment of the mind. Sense enjoyment leads one to the path of darkness. Those who are self-controlled can make progress on the path of liberation from the conditioned life of material existence. The Vedas therefore enjoin that one should not go on the path of darkness, but should make a progressive march towards the path of light or liberation. Self-control is actually achieved not by artificially stopping the senses from material enjoyment, but by becoming factually attached to the Supreme Lord by engaging one's unalloyed senses in the transcendental service of the Lord. Because senses, they have to be, mind and senses, they have to be engaged in something. So if you're not indulging in sense enjoyment, then you have to indulge them in something else. They do need engagement for sure. The senses cannot be forcibly curbed, but they can be given proper engagement. Purified senses, therefore, are always engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. This perfectional stage of sense engagement is called Bhakti Yoga. So those who are attached to the means of Bhakti Yoga are factually self-controlled and can all of a sudden give up their homely or bodily attachment for the service of the Lord. This is called the Paramhansa stage. Hamsas or swans accept only milk out of a mixture of milk and water. Similarly, those who accept the service of the Lord instead of Maya service are called the Parahamsas. So like the swans. We are beyond the swans because they are Hamsas, we are Parahamsas. They are naturally qualified with all the good attributes such as pridelessness, freedom from vanity, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, respectability, worship, devotion, and sincerity. These are like all divine qualities, not asur qualities. All these godly qualities exist in the devotees of the Lord spontaneously. This is Prahlad Maharaj telling his friends that he is born to Asur family, and he's telling his Asur friends that you must worship God, at the start of the young age, and then you should also have all these qualities that mentioned here, divine, godly qualities, divine qualities as well. He's telling his little friends. He's only 5-year-old and he's preaching to them. Such Paramhamsas who are completely given up to the service of the Lord are very rare. They are very rare even amongst the liberated souls. Real non-violence means freedom from envy. In the world, everyone is envious of his fellow being. But a perfect Paramhamsa, being completely given up to the service of the Lord, is perfectly non-envious. He loves every living being in relation with the Supreme Lord. Real renunciation means perfect dependence on God. Every living being is dependent on someone else because he is so made. Actually, everyone is dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. But when one forgets his relation with the Lord, he becomes dependent on the conditions of material nature. Renunciation means renouncing one's dependence on the conditions of material nature and thus becoming completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Real independence means complete faith in the mercy of the Lord without dependence on the conditions of matter. This Paramahansa stage is the highest perfectional stage in Bhakti Yoga, the process of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So yesterday somebody is asking that, the usual question that when people disturb you mentally, physically, what do you do? And to be honest, I tried to convince him. I was I think, come for the first time. And this is, people, which kind of people come to Krishna? There's 4 types, and one of them is the distressed. And he looked a bit distressed and he wanted the answer to this question. And really, for me, the answer is, like just saying to you, that thoughts come into your head. All of us, thoughts come to our head. Somebody disturbed us mentally or physically. And these thoughts just, from the past will just run into your mind. And you even think, where this is coming from. But when you put Krishna in the center, the Krishna, without your sanctioning, without your permission, nobody could have disturbed me, nobody could have done this. And even this thought, now what are you trying to tell me? What do you want to teach me? You are purifying me. Put Krishna in the center and everything just calms down. Thoughts go away, everything goes away, everything calms down. When we try to take over, why this person said that? How can I get him back? I should have said this, all this material conditioning, dependence on the conditions of matter. When we try and sort out things ourselves, that's when things get worse. And you can see that around us now, what's happening with this warfare and everything. People are trying to sort out, their differences. So, let Krishna sort it out. He's in every atom. He will sort it out. He will look after us. And the other people are his children as well. He will, look after them as well and teach them sense as well. So, we don't need to think that we are in control, because we are not in control. So, this is 22. So, just to mention, there is some sense enjoyment as authorized by Srila Prabhupada. For example, we can take sumptuous prasadam, enjoy the form of the deities, as long as the enjoyment is connected with Krishna. So we're not depriving or starving the senses. So at least, we still got that for us. When we see Krishna as a center, we are sensitive to how we use his energies and facilities. We need that to what is practical, but internally we should be totally dependent on Krishna. So just rely on Krishna. We do the necessary to our best and leave the rest to Krishna. So thank you so much, and let's hear from yourselves. Hare Krishna. Okay, Pundrikaksh Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Again, so many points you have covered, Prabhuji, in these verses, like very hard to remember as well. But the main points are offenseless chanting. From my understanding, not just chanting, but even when we're listening to class, even that should be attentive. Then only we can have focused chanting. If you don't know much about Krishna, then how can we actually even glorify Krishna then? So even classes, when you are in classes, even that should be attentive. Mayapur Prabhu sent 10 tenants for our 24 Kirtan, and everything is focused on attentive Kirtan. So don't switch on your mobiles. We'll have also a team who will politely tell you if you are talking. So he want to make sure that the Kirtan is completely enjoyed by everybody. Then only we'll be able to understand Krishna, and even mercy of Krishna will flow only when we actually focus on Krishna clearly. And this is only can happen only when we are actually convinced about what we are hearing and what we are following as well. That's all, Prabhuji, from Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Kiran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. As Pundrikaksh Prabhu said, yes, so many points. And this morning, in an earlier class, we were talking about how even some of the Mughal governors and individuals embraced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his message. Yet our Brahmins in the temples could not accept people of low birth. And it required Srila Prabhupada to say, no, you guys, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. Oh, we're not allowed to drink coffee, but smell the reality of the world. The reality of the world is, it matters not your color. It matters not your birth. It matters not your gender, but the heart and the purity of these individuals and their ability to embrace the Shastras. And if they can show that ability to surrender to the divine with absolute grace, then why should that be an impediment to them developing Brahminical, Krishna conscious positions? And it's amazing that these Brahmins would have read the Shastras. They would have realized that, yes, Prahlad was born in a family of demons. Yes, Narad Muni was born to a maidservant. Yes, that even the animals, even the elephant got liberated because he surrendered to Krishna. So why are these low? And Krishna says, surrender to me, I will absolve you of any gaps, flaws, and any thing that you're lacking in. He takes away our sins. Who can take away those sins? Of course, we have to do all our austerities, but Krishna can do it at the flick of his thumb and his finger. Such is the power of the Absolute. Such is the Tattva that we have been presented with, that he reminds us that there is a difference between the gods and the demigods. He is the manifested and the unmanifested. He is present in every atom, every molecule that exists. Nothing happens without his will. He's absolute, he's timeless, he's omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. If only we can realize that and detach from Maya, self-control, sense control. Yes, we are humans. I like a little bit of cricket. I like a little bit of my IPL. I like watching the men in blue clothes be victorious. And it's my sense indulgence. But I'd like to think that most of my time is devoted to the service of the divine. And that's where our hearts and minds should be, in putting our efforts into the Vedic literature that has been so nicely presented to us by all the devotees, because one devotee can change our life, and that's what happens. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is why we can't force ourselves. We can't force our mind and senses to do anything. It's like a child. You can't force him. Just like the more we get engaged in spirituality, we automatically avoid so many things anyway. And we've given up so many things that we would all otherwise be doing, and that is a sign of progress. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hope you're well. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Some key takeaways from me that I noted down was around power of the holy name when chanted offensively. As Prabhu you've outlined, there is no difference between the Lord and the holy name. And you also mentioned about attentive chanting and how challenging it is, particularly my monkey mind. So constant, it's like it's a constant battle to keep bringing it back to the vibration. And I understand it takes practice, essentially. And I try to remember that we're chanting for the Lord's pleasure, so it's a selfless act. And I'm in many lectures I've heard as well, it's also been like chanting has been compared to almost like a direct line to Krishna. You know, you can see it as almost like a direct Wi-Fi connection or a telephone connection just between you and him, and it cuts through all of the material universe, and it's transcendental. So wherever you are, it can be heard. So, and other points I noted was around quality of self-control, which is nicely expanded on in the verse as well that we've covered. Particularly the sentence which I've jotted down, which is only the self-controlled can gradually be attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I guess this is the key. The key is attaching ourselves to the higher taste, which is attachment to Krishna and devotional service, and then automatically this should allow us to let go of the lower urges that we have, material gratification, etc. And in this, and I was thinking about how in this world people are, searching for love. People in general, they think that we can get this, we can seek this desire of love that we have, material love, through romantic relationships, or buying a pet or an animal, a cat or a dog. But actually the love that we're searching for can only be satisfied through the love of God. Really, that's what we're ultimately searching for. But I think what happens is that people in general mistake that. It's almost like we have a God-shaped hole in our heart, but we're trying to fill it with materialistic relationships, which are always going to fall short. Only Krishna can fulfill the search for eternal love, and that's what we're all searching for. Those were a few of my thoughts. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, Krishna, he's got 6 appliances. He can provide. We don't need to go anywhere else. Krishna can provide everything. Thank you, Mataji. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, so I don't know where to start. Like, Krishna is everything. Krishna is unlimited, Ananta. He's all-powerful. Om Purnam, he is complete, perfectly complete. And then we read all the demigods, they pray, for the favors of Lakshmi, but Lakshmi herself serves the Lord. And Krishna is independent. Like, he did not even need, the Brahma was born from his navel, not from the womb of Mother Lakshmi. So it shows the absolute supremacy. Then all the 4 sampradayas, they've declared Krishna as the Supreme Lord. So we just need to, like you said, change our sense enjoyment from material sense enjoyment to the spiritual sense enjoyment, change our material desires to spiritual desires, because that is the only way, to attain our goal. And by chanting, the only condition is offenseless and sincerity. So first we have to be sincere, and then Krishna will help us. One day we will chant offenselessly. That is the aim. So all our sins are eradicated. So we're reading it's so nice, because whatever we're reading here, and we're reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the Muslim governor, because they were all attracted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the power of association, how they went as a spy, and the spy was converted straight away, and he said he's the Supreme Lord. And he tells the governor, then he goes to see him, and then he wants the name, and he wants to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the power of name, it can change, even if we taken birth in the lower caste or whatever sins we've done, as long as we are chanting sincerely, and we'll get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, So, and also in Bhagavad-Gita, like Lord says, because even if there are any, shortcomings on us, I carry what you lack and preserve what you have. So it's the faith we need to have, and sincerely, take one of the processes. We're given 9 processes. So even if we just do one sincerely, we will achieve our goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare
It's so amazing, all the verses.
Thank you, Antaji.
Thank you.
Hare Hare Bol. Jai. Ajay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's always important to understand that we shouldn't limit the Lord. The Lord is unlimited, and the holy name in particular is unlimited. It is the Yuga Dharma to chant the holy name. We have to, it's always potent in whichever Yuga it's in, but especially potent with this Yuga because that is the way of deliverance for us. That is the way we can find our constitutional position, how we can serve the Lord in pure devotional service, how we can actually align ourselves properly, whether Krishna wants us to come back to Godhead, whether Krishna wants to serve in some of the universe, whatever the position. When we get in that correct position, correct role in lives, then we are properly actually fixed in what we should be doing. Then whatever issues you are facing, whatever suffering you are facing, will dissipate because you do not. Then whatever material issues are, they do not bother you anymore because everything is used for the service of Krishna. It's no longer a case of why is this not fulfilling me? It doesn't matter. It's because everything, when linked with Krishna, when linked with the unlimited, then everything becomes satisfying. Even suffering can become satisfying because you're doing it for Krishna, so you don't feel suffering anymore. It's just, okay, this is what makes Krishna happy, then I'm happy. That's why you see with the great Vaishnavas, even though externally it seems like they're suffering greatly, when you actually listen to them internally, they're actually trying to get an idea of what they are experiencing. They're in great bliss because they're doing everything for Krishna. You hear them sing the kirtan or even chanting. It's just you think such Vaishnavas would be struggling to chanting in 1 round. They're chanting 64 rounds, maybe more even. They're completely engaged in service of the Lord. We have to always remember that the holy name is so powerful. It's thus by not chanting properly, we are denying ourselves that full link with the Lord. And even then, the holy name is that powerful that even if we are chanting offenseless with offense, we're still getting purified. Imagine if you actually tried to chant without offense, actually paid attention to the 10 offenses, actually tried to make a concerted effort to actually have this, as Mataji explained earlier, this dialogue. Yeah, you actually have conversing with Krishna. Imagine if you're talking to somebody and you kept turning away, looking elsewhere, talking to someone else in between. You think you're such a rude person, such a ridiculous person. What? You talk to me. Likewise, when you're chanting, you're talking to Krishna. Talk to Krishna properly. Actually, focusing on conversation. There's nothing wrong. When you're chanting, we're asking for devotional service. Ask Krishna for devotional service. Krishna was more than happy to give you devotional service. That's the whole point. Krishna wants to reciprocate. You give love to him, he gives love to you. We just need to. That's all it is. It's just a bit of case of just actually focus. Don't focus at all, because it is easy to get lazy sometimes because you think, oh, that's whatsoever I'm doing right now is working, so keep on it. But actually, we should be trying to build on whatever we're doing. So if we're doing something well, then do it better. Again, Krishna is unlimited. There is no sense that we should be satisfied with where we're at, because there's no such thing as there's a limit. There's no such thing as I can't grow more about bhakti. I can't learn more about Krishna. I can't serve more. It's never ending, and that's the beauty of bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, the power of bhakti, the importance of bhakti, and how to do is again, repeated in these verses as well. This is the theme of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and it is it is continuously told us through different personalities and different verses. Krishna has gone through so much pain. He came as Vyasadeva, and he said all this for us, our benefit. So by doing Vishnu Bhakti, as we know, our aprarabdha is destroyed. That which has not yet been manifested, that is destroyed. Also, the tendency to commit sins is destroyed. That is the kutam, as we all know. And then the bijam, the plans to commit the sins, that are also destroyed. And they say the most difficult one, the prarabdha, what we have done in the past, the sins we have committed, they are the last ones to go. And this is what we are going through, isn't it? Taking births again and again and again and again, because we have to clean the slate. Then only we will be given the visa for the spiritual world. Until then, our visa is going to be denied and we'll be thrown back into this Mrityulok. Well, that is the clear terms and conditions laid out by Lord Shri Krishna for all of us. And now, they say that when we will see the pure devotees there, they say they have the darshans of the Lord. And how amazing that in this lifetime, if your devotional service becomes so pure, your chanting becomes so pure, your intentions, your desires are all in line with Krishna, and then you have this opportunity to see him. And then they say that almost everyone who will have the darshan of Lord will faint. And of course we will, if we will be that lucky or person who is going to have that. But until then, what do we have to do? And we have to do devotional service. That's it. That is the only criterion and nothing else. And yes, Lakshmi ji, she's serving all the time Lord Krishna, Vishnu ji. And what happens is Brahmaji doesn't come through her. Brahmaji comes through Lord. Lord is again emphasized there as well, that I am Swarat, I am Atmaram, I can do everything. I can manifest anything and everything, and I can change the situations, change the circumstances, just like that. So if Lord wants us to progress, if we have desires, intentions to do pure chanting, that will come one of these days, definitely. Because we do have that glimmer, sometimes our chanting for a round or two is so beautiful, and then we say to ourselves, why cannot we be so careful in our chanting like this throughout our chanting? So there is hope for all of us. And the second offense of the chanting is also been highlighted in verse 21. So we have to remember who is the ultimate goal and who is the God. That is Lord Shri Krishna. And of course, in lastly, I noted in verse 22, it was told about the renunciation, that we have to renounce our bad habits. Because we are not sannyasis that will be renouncing everything. The prime example, which we all know, is Amrish Maharaj. He had everything materially, and still he was doing the devotional service of the highest kind. And Lord arranged so that Durvasa Muni came to take his test. And through that test, it is shown to us that who is more renounced, Durvasa Muni or Amrish Maharaj? It is, of course, Amrish Maharaj. So example is there, road has been laid out for us, the road map is there. God has given us the intellect, God has given us the powers in the form of this material body, which we have to employ in Lord's service. So yes, as Narayan Keshava Prabhu was saying, who is the impediment? It is us. So we don't have to look anywhere. We just have to, as we cleanse ourselves every morning, our bodies, and we have to cleanse our mind all the time, because mind is nothing. Mind is our thoughts, mind is our intentions, and mind goes before us. Wherever we go, mind reaches before us. So let us pray to Lord Krishna that Lord Krishna, in this new week also, give us more and more determination and resolve to come closer to you. Happy Ekadashi to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And thank you all for your wonderful inputs. We will catch up again on Wednesday. So, Granth Shashri Bhagavatam ki
Ki
jai,
jai, Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
ki
jai.
jai,
Ki
Gaur
jai.
Premanande, Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Go.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.